together too.
Good morning, everyone. We have our event coming in 9 days. Are you ready? I think I am. I just gotta lay out the stuff, as they say. Let me go to my thing here. Okay, so there we go. Here we go. I don't know why it stopped scrolling. I must have done something, huh? You think? I probably did. I probably did something in my settings that it stopped scrolling, and I don't know. But anyway, I did manage to post it about the zebras, and I got that set up so that way, you know, I put it in our Discord channel so people can see that. I think there's I mean, I can't imagine them being 10 gold. No, that won't happen. But anyways, I think what I'm going to do is, because I have, wait a minute, let me run over here for a minute. See, I already have that area set up for, you know, the kitty Tinkerbells. And then this is going to be the area where we put the, where I'm going to put the zebras. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think this was 14. I'm not sure. I think this would be 14 because, yeah, this is going to be set up for, this is going to be set up for the crops. So, and then the rest will be all zebras. But I think what I might do is to reserve for the corn, because, well, or the wheat, you know, I'm going to reserve this area for that just in case. You never know. Or I might just go down here where the lettuces, swap it out, because I have over 5,000 lettuce. So what I might do is I might just swap it out, you know, swap the signs out for the corn and go that route. Well, how am I? Oh, tomatoes and okay. So I'm gonna head over to my second farm. Actually, my third, because I think there was some quest stuff that I needed to get from there. So let's just double check that. I know, huh? Isn't that horrible that I don't have this? It's like, you know, it's like I get so busy doing my first farm for setting it up, and then, you know, my second and third. But I'll have a lot of time to just to kind of figure out where I'm going with that. I know there's always that. What do I say? I got. Oh, okay. So roses. So, anyways, I've got this here again. My lovely flower farm. I'm not doing anything with this. Just not. I'm not in the mood. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do here besides flowers and fish. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, and then I have my trees, of course. I have my pineapple trees. Yay me. Like we don't have, you know, see, over there in the far corner, far left, you know, those are all my pineapples. All of them that we have in the game. Those are all my pineapples. So, and on occasions, we all know we have, certain pineapple trees that are needed for a quest. So when I come to visit, um, at least my pineapple guys, if there's a tree, unless it's out of season, they can do their thing, and there's that. And I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 workers, 9, 10 on this map. So I still have what, 15? So I'm good with that. Oh, and not it. Well, okay, it's all right. I didn't want to do that, but that's okay. Um, so there's that. You know, I gotta tell you something. The other day, right? I pretty much did all my flowers. I harvested all my flowers. And wouldn't you know? I do have a big one here. Oh, the Arabians, 320. I don't think. Am I gonna make it? I'm waiting a couple of days to get this done. I'm sorry I haven't been streaming past couple of days. I've just been really, really busy. I had some things that I had to do, so I humbly apologize for like not being around. But I know you guys understand. Anyway, let me get these flowers done. See, look at that. It gives me a new quest. Um, okay. So, let me see. Hey! Good morning, Ace. Wow, you're up early, huh? I am doing just fine and wonderful. I must have did something right with my. You know what I think it is? Sometimes I swap out. Well, what I do is, um, I have my headset, as you know. I have my headset, and sometimes what I do is I swap out in between my headset, and then I have my Bose speaker, and I don't know. Sometimes it gets a little weird, so that's why. I don't know. I'm gonna. Oh, well, I hope everything's okay with your auntie. I already seen my doctors this past week. No, I do not need to see them again. So there's that. I'm gonna go into town for like a brief moment, and just to see if I have to pay them. Ooh, 5 whole ribbons. Yay me. La, 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 la. Oh, peanuts. Yeah, I wanna. And as you all know, I don't have a peanut butter machine, so I can have at it with the things. Good. That's good to hear that she's doing good. Sometimes I cash in on the peanuts only because I cash in, and I'm slow pokey today with wanting to upgrade my shops. I try to do the usual things. I mean, I know I tell some people, you should upgrade, and you really should. So don't go by me and say, oh well, she doesn't do it. My shops are okay. Oh gosh. See, just to kind of give you an overall, we're not even going to discuss this. If I had a delete button, trust you me, it would be deleted. Well, you know what I mean. Put it back where it belongs. Um, these are the ones like the art gallery. I really don't. I mean, I know some of you, you know, because like this is from before like the new update that we had. Um, and guys, I want to show you something which I thought, oh, I never noticed that. Well, and I think, oh, she's not going to be on. And I think Blaze might appreciate this. So, I didn't notice this till this morning. So I don't know, if any of you know this or not. So it was a little surprise to me because I was just kind of goofing around on my other farm, and I went into settings because for some reason the settings were set differently, and I'm like, okay, so why is that? But I want to. I'll show you that. I'll show you that in a little bit. Um, but here we go. Okay, so art gallery again. It's 125. My candy shop 133. Um, oh, don't make me jealous. Just don't even make me jealous. My candy shop's 133 to 133. But you got to understand, guys. I don't. I didn't upgrade these even before, simply because I don't. I don't really get them filled up. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I really don't go after these. The Smitty, the same thing. Though I might have to level this up just a little bit, guys. The Apothecary, oh yes, I definitely have to get that leveled up because we have, the tea stuff. Mushroom stand, I don't want to discuss this, guys. Please, I don't even want to discuss it. It's 1.2 billion. I mean, seriously. Vegetables, well, you know, again, I don't really, probably should, but I will eventually. Yeah, I'm not even discussing the vegetables, the mushroom show. I'm just not, guys. You know, it's like I'll let you figure it out because no matter what you say, it's up. I got my event check 207 to 208. That's not too bad. Grocery store. Oh, I'm not even discussing this again. Look at this grocery store. 2 billion. Hello. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Bakery. And I didn't get this at all because sometimes what I try to do is, like see the groceries 212, right? Okay. So I go to my bakery 213. It's just a tad one over, right? But excuse me, 2 billion. What? I mean, you know, I don't understand. 1.37. Fruit stand, 1 billion. I mean, arts and crafts, okay. But if you notice the what, oh my goodness, arts and crafts. And here's another one. I don't really use my arts and craft. My oh wait. This is your. I'm sorry. I do use this one. um, the problem is, growing a whole ton of tomatoes. But the arts and crafts, of course, is your wool and the feathers, which is, we can do that. But that's doable. Oh, grocery store. My restaurant now. I'm still trying to work on that, but then of course I look over and say, oh, 119. I don't worry so much about the diamonds unless it gets into the billions, which I've never seen that yet. 4,008 lemons. I could probably. It's doable. You know what I'm saying? But in the fish stand, not bad. What the heck is the deal with the mushrooms? I mean, seriously, I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Now, here's what I got to do now. Um, I have to get a ton of mushrooms, and this is interesting. I used to get a bunch of them, like from before with my animals, basically, because at the time, even then, when we didn't have the mine, my animals always filled the mushrooms. Now it's like I don't know. Maybe I was, and look, and do you see this? So I need over 10,000 mushrooms. Yeah, hello. Um, Now I want to go into settings. I think I have to exit out of my game to show you this. I thought this was interesting. I was like, really? Okay, I'm gonna exit out. Do you want to leave? Yeah. Oh wait. My farms. Uh, okay. I'm gonna make it. Well, I think I can do it with this way. Ah, here we go. Okay. If you go to your permissions for your, on your farm, right? Under custom permission. I just noticed this today. Now, I could be like, It could have been there for a while, ladies and gentlemen, and you could say, well, I already know that. Well, let me tell you something. I didn't know it. I'm still the noob when it comes to this game. I don't know it's to me, it's like I don't know enough to look up and see if I'm out of gas or not, okay? I am so guilty of that. But let me show you custom permissions. Plow and harvest land, yes. Plant, water, harvest, trees, animals, fish, herbs. Ah, hello. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? So, if you just recently, if you like planted your herbs or your teas and herbs, correct? If you have it no, guess what? That person is not allowed, unless it's somebody that's got full privs, but they are not allowed to harvest your herbs. Isn't that interesting? I'm like, because I did. I saw this on another farm, and I'm like, on my other farm, and I'm like, no. Okay, so I'm going to put yes. Harvest from buildings, resupply. Use shops, exchange favorite. Now check this out, people. This is something for Blaze. Pay farm hands. Okay. With my friends that have full, they can pay farm hands. The regular players cannot. But now I can see the reasoning behind that too. Because I think what happens, yeah. Well, I just discovered it today, so I'm just giving everybody a heads up. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, give me a break. But I was just kind of surprised because it does say herbs, so it says yes. So if you go and take a look at your settings, if it says no, obviously you want people to harvest them. Hello. And then again, there is this one here that says pay farm hands. Now, okay. I have ran into the situations, which in a sense, it does make sense. But here's the thing. Sometimes people, what they do is they purposely, and I think this is also new, pay farm hands. This is also new. People weren't allowed to pay the farm hands. Okay? Just regular, players or visitors or whatever. If my friends that have full privs can now, they've always been paying my workers. But now there's a thing here that says pay farm hands. So if I hit yes, anyone that comes on my farm can go and pay the farm hands, which I think is great. But well, you know something? It's probably the Union shop, because I'll tell you something. I've been on farms where I just walk up to the farmhand and pay him. Well, actually, he gets like $1. That's what I've seen. I've done in the past, long time ago. So, but that is a good question. The only way to do it is to probably go to and that's the thing too, is if somebody was to come to my farm and they could go and see if they could pay the union person, then yeah. But I do know that on an individual basis, I can go to farms on an individual basis and pay the farmhand. So there it is. And that's what I kind of wonder too. So I'll have to find it out now. Because see, and by the way, I also know that sometimes, what players will do is they will purposely not pay their farm hands. They will purposely just do that. Don't ask me why, but they purposely do. So that was the new one. Start jobs, continue jobs, and finish jobs, mine minerals. Now that and I'm sure the person maybe doesn't even realize this, by the way. I've gone into mines and I can't mine their minerals. So I don't know if it's because the it's not checked. So in other words, if it says no, that means if you go into someone's mine, you can't mine. It's because they have it shut off. So I just want to give you a heads up. And honestly, I don't know why you'd want to shut it off. I mean, I don't. I think it's great. Oh, get out of. Oh, now here is the thing too. This is another new one. Harvest mushrooms. So let's say for the sake of you don't want anybody going in your mine to do the minerals, you just want them to do the mushrooms. Okay? That's a new one too. Just to kind of give you a heads up. So look over your custom permissions. Okay? And I put use shop. I put no. Because what I don't want players to do is, and I've had it happen like in Farm Together one, and I know that the person did it with good intentions, not bad ones. Um, but sometimes, you know, when a person goes to the shops and they want to, oh, oh, you should. Okay. Well, then I mean, it does make sense. But I mean, if I hit somebody's farm and I go mining, I do the whole mine. But I get what you're saying. So in some cases, um, like I said, I've gone to farms where I want to, because most people that know me know I will do the full mine. I mean, I don't get it why you'd want to go into the mine, do a couple of spots, and then leave, unless um, a person will go in there and know it's a quested item, and then they just do the quested item and leave. Um, but here's the thing: it will take you like 5 minutes, and sometimes too is what I've done too is I've used favor to do that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but there has been instances where I've gone into a mine. You can't do mining, so I'm like, okay, fine, and you know something, I understand that because I guess there are some people that will go in the mine, go do a couple, and they run away and leave. Um, which you guys you shouldn't. If you're gonna go into the mine, do the whole thing. Like I said, it takes you 5 minutes. But that's why too. Some people do. That's a new one though. Harvest mushrooms. Um, I've never ran across a problem with harvesting mushrooms. But again, I do the entire mine. So, and I can't say it enough. I know, guys, you heard me say, "Nah, finish the whole row." I mean, that you know, but and it's interesting now because now we have what we have. Some people's farms can have 1,000. Like your lettuce. That's probably the only time I've ever seen people. Well, once in a great while, I'll see it happen. But once in a great while, I have seen people do my lettuce, and they'll go like about. Well, this is before the 1,000, but sometimes I've seen people just go to the halfway mark and then I'm done. See you later. Have a nice day. Go figure. Why? I don't know, but that's the way they do things. But I just thought I would bring that to your attention on that. Um, so because like I said, there are some things people shut off purposely for whatever reason they want. Um, but as far as the farm hands are concerned, I do know that um, there's a couple of farms that I've gone to, and you walk right up to the worker. Ah, good morning, Maya. That you can walk up to the worker. Maya, I hope you caught the some of the new things, not new things, but on your settings, um, on your farm. I mean, I'll go over it really quick for you, but there are some things on your custom. Oops, on your settings. Now I'll go back here. No, it's not settings. It's my farms. Thank you. This one. Okay. Um, See, I give my friends full, and they know who they are. But down here on your custom permissions, this is where it changes. Um, it's on over here, and there's a few new ones, so you may want to look over the new ones. Just FYI. Um, the new one is, and there's a few of them. The newer ones are harvest herbs. So go take a look, whenever you can to see, because if you have herbs on your farm and you notice no one's able to harvest them, or they might say, "Hey, I can't harvest your herbs. What's going on?" Well, now you know. Okay, so just to FYI, go to your custom permissions and do that, because you're gonna find people that ain't harvesting your herbs, and you're sitting there going, "And why is that?" So if you see them, if you put it to no, no one's gonna be able to harvest your herbs. By the way, especially like where my herbs are set up to replant them. Guess what? They won't be able to replant them either. So it's yes or no in between, whatever. But I don't. I mean, it's kind of funny because I don't remember. I don't remember seeing this one before, like on an update. So I have no clue. And I have no clue when they obviously had to do this when we got the herbs for that. So just to kind of give you a heads up and an FYI. And harvest from buildings, yes. But now resupply, yes. Use shops, no. See, that's the thing use shops meaning the ones that are in your town. And I will get to tell you about why I put no. The only people that can are the people that, have the full that can do that. Exchange favor. Pay farm hands. Um, and like I said, I think Blaze would be interested in this. Now, again, Ace brought up a good point, so I'm going to ask about that because um, actually, you know what? I'd be willing to bet you it's probably directly paying the 5 farmhands. That kind of sounds and makes sense because you have to go to town to pay the farmhands in town. Well, the union people. So my guess is, I'm just guessing, that it's possible that it means specifically you walk up to the farmhand. If they're not working, then you can pay them directly. But that's been going on for a while. But this is new. So I put yes, just for giggles and laughs to find out, hey, can we do that? Um, wait till you see this. This is also new, by the way, Maya. Harvest mushrooms. That I've never seen before. It used to say mine minerals, right? And it says harvest mushrooms. So my guess is they must have put that in there because it wasn't there before. That I know for a fact. It was always mine minerals, harvest mushrooms. Um, so I thought maybe you guys would like to see that. I know I showed you guys again, but I know one of my friends, Maya, she needs to see that so she'll know. Um, so at least some of you can go in, and do your thing, and now you know it's there, and you can either say yes or no on whatever you want. Um, so you can be aware of that, just to kind of give you a heads up. Oh, and what farm am I on? I'm on over here. I do know. See, it's too late. I do know that on farms that I've been on, even my own, you walk up. Now, if he needed to get paid, you know what I mean? Like, you could walk up and you could pay them. So, there's that. Well, see, the only drawback about if you have your workers, if you have your workers on your farm, you know, the thing is, you're going to go to each individual worker and pay them. That's the only drawback. Um, I mean, I went up there. Well, you know what, Maya? This idea came from you, so I'm not taking any credit for my fish farm. Absolutely not. You're the one that created that. You did a beautiful job on Ace's farm with the fish farm. So, and you know something, I like the scenario of putting it this way, this setup. I really do. It's easy. And the thing is, you put your worker here in the middle. They do their thing, and I don't. And honestly, I don't worry about it. And this is the only time, by the way, Ace, that you will see that I have one, two. I have four canneries here, but these ones are low level ones. They should be. Yeah, yeah. Okay. The reason being is because I get an overabundant um, amount of fish. I do get some overages. Well, see, that's the thing. So you need to test. Well, see, you need to test it. I need to find out through somebody to see, because that was never there before. And I know for a fact that I've gone to other farms, okay, without having full, and I've gone to other farms where, the worker's not doing his thing. So, and I have walked up to the individual worker and have paid them. And I've only done it to like one or two. Because going into town, I can't pay the union workers. So I'm just, like I said, guys, I'm just guessing um, if it's individual or if it's pay the union. What I think I might do is I might ask that question in their Discord channel, because it is kind of an interesting um, question. Is that based on individual, or is that based on I can go into town now and pay the workers, for that person's farm? But again, in some cases, like I said, I have seen some people, you go to their farms and their workers are shut off. Yeah, yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, I kind of think. I mean, I'm going to ask because it's a worthy question to ask. Um, you know, only because, does that mean individual? Because from my point of view, from my side, I've would pay the worker not them all, by the way. I just want to say that. But I think, oh my gosh, this goes back a while back. Because one day, I just walked up to the worker and I paid him. And I was like, oh wow. So then I did it again, paid him. But now when I knew I could do that, I remember being on this farm, going to town, but I could not pay the union worker. So, and I don't know, because like I said, I don't know if that was a glitch or, whatever it was, but yeah. Yeah. Well, if you look at Lord Baser's farm, she has them all tall walled off. In most cases, yeah. She uses tall walls. But I mean, for example, I can go into town and pay her workers. Because I don't know if she's got them on animals or not now. Because I know she's changed her farm around. So, but there's that. So like if you want people to, well, I don't know. I don't know why we would. I mean, that would be interesting. But by the way, on my fish farm, this is what I usually do standardly for anybody. If I'm helping someone, get their farm together, this is standard rule of thumb for me, because doing the three fish rows. I mean, it's obviously going to take up space. Okay. Um, but here's the thing. When I put down, okay, clownfish. I mean, there's only 130 in this row. 130. Okay? And look at that. I mean, look at that. I mean, I have it like the amount that I get is pretty high. So that's what I do. I mean, if you want to go less than that, go less than that. But nope. I mean, I used to have it set at 124, I think it was. So for giggles and laughs, I won 130. And, there's that. This weather's been really crazy over here lately. And it's not like we don't need the rain, because we do. Okay, now I'm going to hit Farm 2. Yeah. Well, they could add different types. This is true. Oh, gosh. And I do have that. 4. I hate it when they give you a quest to do horses and donkeys. Because, they take 1 to 2 days to, And the thing is, generally, if if you have a quest for, let's say, 1 horse, that's why I don't really, if you notice, like I don't really harvest them, and the reason being that I don't really harvest them because the game has this tendency to say and it's the worst of all. Oh, I want 50 horses. It doesn't matter what horse. Donkey's the same thing. And I sit there and I go, are you serious? I just harvest them. Now it wants me to do 50 donkeys. So there it is. Oh, wait a second. I want to show you guys something. There was a little something odd about this, too. Let me show you something. And you know what? I saw this a long time ago, so... Oh, wait, I can go into town for that, can't I? Uh-huh. Okay, wait a minute. Let me go into town for a moment. I'll pay these guys. Ooh, look at that. See? Okay. Oh, that's Bulldog. Look at that. Okay. Look at the back of the truck. Do you see anything? Uh-huh. Okay. So if you look at the license plate, what does it say? FT3. Hello? Wake up, people. Wake up. I'm not saying anything, but I saw some discussion about it, and I'm like, yep. Uh-huh. But, it's interesting, too, because I saw that a long time ago, like, I thought, like, months ago, this, I think even when the trucks probably came out, but I saw that, I said, oh, okay, that's interesting. I mean, to me, it just kind of stands out, so, it is what it is, guys, you never know. But now let me show you something else, which was not there before. See, I observe, wait. Let me go back into town again. Okay, I observe every little thing that these guys do. Like the Christmas tree that never gets lit up during Christmas, but who knows, they might do it again. I know, huh? I'm just now getting used to Farm Together too. Hello? Oh, can you imagine if they did a Farm Together 3? Oh my gosh. But now, here I am. They put a Christmas tree or pine tree, whatever, dead smack, and I can barely see inside there. But I mean, if you stand over here, you can barely see. But I mean, you can, it's just interesting how they got the little side porches and, things like, and the big Christmas tree. So I'm wondering, then that's been there for a while. Now, here's the other thing. The lighthouses. Those are awesome. And they've got 2 of them in the game. And then the windmill. See, when I come to town, I know people say, oh, I hate going to town. Well, you know what? I don't mind going, but I also observe and see the new things that they add. So, that's what it is. Okay, now I want to show you something else. Which I thought, okay, what's the point of that? Now, let me see. Here we go. That I'm not sure. I am not sure. Now, I am not buying this, guys. But if you look, if you look at your menu, like where you go in your little menu where buildings and things. If you look very closely at the golden fuel depot, all right. Now, as it's spinning around in your game, you're gonna see, because it'll be spinning around. Oh gosh, I didn't miss it yet. Okay, so unless you planted it, if you put it down, God bless you too, because I will never buy this. But anyways, if you look at the license plate, it says MLK24. Now here is your normal, everyday gas pump, right? Okay, so here it is. I want you guys to see it. MLK-24. Does that mean anything significant? Milk 24. Milk 24. I have no idea, but I'm just saying. So, if you're putting your decorations down or your vehicles down, because, I it's bad enough, I go to people's farms and I don't know enough to pick up their tickets. But only because when I go to a person's farm, I just hit A and do my thing, and it's not because, I'm being rude or mean or ignorant or anything like that. I just don't press A, okay? I just want you to know that. Okay. Emma at Milkstone 24. Oh, wait a minute. 24. This is 26. So 2 years ago. So that's significant. Aha. It's probably it. That's probably it. And they probably put the 24 as in 2024 because that's when the game came out, was in 2024. See? So, I know a lot of you, probably say, it's like don't look or you don't even give it a thought. But for me, when I saw this here, I thought, okay, what does this mean? And then when I seen the cars and everything with that, I'm like, okay. Oh, the cyber tanks don't say nothing. They're blank. At least, let me see. Let me see. No, there's nothing on them. Not a thing. Like even the little, see, even on the little ones on the backside, there's nothing there. They're just blank. Yep. Yep. So, guys, to me, it's like, a lot of games, they have Easter eggs in them. So, but, it would be kind of interesting if, I don't know. They had Farm Together 1 running for quite a few years. So, Farm Together 2, I can't imagine them saying, oh, guess what? We're going to come up with Farm Together 3, so now you can ignore the whole game completely. I'd be like, no, 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 no. But there is significant things in the game. And all the trucks say Farm Together, well, FT3. And it was interesting because, I don't go running to their Discord channel all the time and post things. I just don't do that. But I will say this. It was just like I can't think of his name. He's a regular person that's always posting. And the thing I found interesting was somebody had said about that bench. Um, and the thing is, because you know me and my benches. So it was just funny because when someone said, how come it's in town and we don't have it? See, that's the thing. But it was just funny. Uh, no, because, wait a minute. No, because this is the second year. So, but I get what you're saying, but I will tell you. See, I should copy and paste these little conversations. See, because someone was chit chatting and talking about the Farm Together 3, and I was like, what? So I don't know. If they come up with the Farm Together 3, God bless them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, God bless them if they do. I think. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm still on my first cup of coffee, so my first cup is always the quiet, I'm thinking about it kind of thing, so I don't know. Depends. I mean, aside from they are doing a beautiful job on Farm Together too. I mean, they are, and it's very appreciative what they do. So there's that. Okay. And let me see. Yeah, there's that. Okay, so we have 9 days remaining, so I'm not gonna really worry too much about it. So let me grab this stuff here, pink peppercorn. I swear to goodness, it's what level is it? I don't know. I just my pink peppercorn was not. I thought my pink peppercorn was a higher level than this, and the reason why I say that is because I planted fields upon fields of the peppercorns, aside from the trees. So I was like, maybe it was my other farm that I did that too. I don't know. You know what I mean? I just kind of think maybe I'm getting my other farm confused with this farm. I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. Well, if they were to make, let's say, hypothetically, a Farm Together 3, and this is not, it would be kind of interesting if they did a Farm Together 3 with exotic animals. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the zebras. To me, that's an exotic animal. It's not just your normal everyday animal, right? So, I would think, something to the effect of maybe, like zebras, lions, tigers, anything with walks on four, and the exotic birds. Well, we do have exotic fish, but in that category, it's kind of a total different ball game. Well, there you go. Zoo Together. Hello, Madam Flutterby. How are you today? One of our favorite people that does the best videos for YouTube. Yeah, that would be interesting. Zoo Together. Well, I mean, you know, when you go to a farm, right? How often do you see zebras? You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Oh, you do some amazing videos. You really do. And guys, you need to see her videos. She's the best. She is the bomb. She is an everyday person that does her videos like every day. Me, I'm a slacker, guys. You all know that now. I don't care if you just say, no, you're not a slacker. You have things good. But you know what? She's the best. And was it the other day you were doing Farm Together 1, but you said last video, and I'm like, oh my God, no, you can't leave, no. But then I realized you were doing Farm Together 1. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was like, my heart was dropping. I'm like, what? Because it did say, it said, this is my last video. And I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean? No, you can't do that. But yeah. Yeah, I was like, no, 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 no. And what was it? And we've been defending you every step of the way, especially with that stupid cheat thing, because it's like she doesn't cheat. She doesn't have a cheating bone in her body. So, you know, hit up all those farms and see what happens. Yeah. That means I could go and get me a cheat thing, and it'll keep me on and she'll get kicked off, right? That's what that means. It just means that she'll get booted and I won't. She does. God love her. But I don't know. I'm still, that would be interesting, guys. That if they did have a Farm Together 3, it would definitely have to be something like, yeah, like a zoo or something. But it's probably something that Soy is thinking about in the peoples that he works with. It's probably something that they're thinking about. And if they're thinking about it, oh, I don't know. Mr. Sheep, you're not supposed to be in my way. I just, yeah. Yeah, I can't either. I can't. And here's the thing. And I mean, and I've played a bazillion games in my career of playing games. Um, and the thing is about playing games, it's like, oh, it says JKB. JKB. The other one I think said Love on it or something like that, but I got JKB. Those are the initials of my name. I wish I could leave it as JB. I think there is a way to do it, I think. Um, but, because that's what my nickname was, JB. Everybody used to call me JB. They still do. But, um, there was a friend of mine too that just recently passed away. And one of my friends, she says to me, "Do you know?" She says, "When I was talking to Bill, oh well, uh, well, I know, I no, I know, well, well, it's not very nice, and I have to say, in all honesty, um, let me see. There's a few that I know of like that are not very nice, and thank gosh we don't have people that don't do them. Yeah, yeah. Well, at least I haven't seen it on tractors. I sometimes I just try to avoid what those initials mean, but mine just mean my name. I wish it could just be JB, but maybe I could put a star in there or something. I don't know. But anyways, look at those interesting new things, by the way, in your yeah, look at those things. Well, you know what? Wait a minute. You could still do MF. I get what you're saying, but you still could do. I know what it means. Yeah, I do know what it means, and you could still. But then again, you know something, and I would defend you to the end. Of course, though, someone could say, "Oh, look what she's got on her tractor. It's MF." You know, it's just like, uh, I don't know. Wait a minute. I can go to town. I'll find out in just a second. Wait a moment. Whoops. You know, I want to go that way every time I come into town, and I want to go to the wardrobe. See, this is my setup in my town, like the buildings that I don't use. I just put them over here. Well, let me see. Okay, go here. Tractor. Oh, crap. I don't want that one. I want that one. Thank you. Okay. Wait a minute. Model. Oh, wait. Wait. Model. Variant. No. No. Ah! Boom. Here we go. 3 letters or numbers. So let's try this. J. Let me see. J. Oh, wait. Oh, let's try it. Let's see. Oh, poop. Nope. Okay. How about if I just did it? You know what, though? Can I do it like this? Nope. How about if I did... 3 letters or numbers. Okay, I got it. J, B, 1. Whoop, nope. 1. JB1? OB1. OB1, yeah, OB. It's K. Boom, I can do that. Okay, so if you did... Ooh, well... I'm trying to think. I could do that is... I want to do this. Wait a minute. Madam B. Well, what? Wait. No, you have MF, right? MF. MF. If I put a B there, that's... No. Oh, gosh. Sounds like itch. You know what I'm saying? See, it sounds like itch, right? Now, if I put MFP, ain't going there. But you know what I'm saying? She's gonna get me in trouble. Well, I mean, it's just a thing, you know? I mean... Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm leaving it alone. Do you want to apply? Yeah, I do. Okay, so I got my tractor going on. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Yeah, well, because, I had a thing of me thinking out of the box, and so that's what I came up with, I mean, it could be worse. I don't know. I mean, it could be worse. See, they should allow us to put, like, the other thingies in there so that way we could, separate them instead of, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it alone. But you know what, though? Okay, it's not cheating, but really it isn't, because here's the thing. Like, if I play Skyrim, or if I play No Man's Sky, if I play single-player games, which in this sense, this can be a single player game, or it's a co-op. Well, um, you could put you could put a number. You could put M1F. No, yeah, you could do that. You could do that. Put You don't want to do MOF or M0F. You don't want to do that. Well, she could do that. She could do BFM. Wow. Yeah, see? There you go. You know what? That works. But see, the F is missing. That's the only thing. Hey, it wasn't me that invented the alphabet, so there you go. I know a lot of my viewers are going, now what is up with this? She's doing the letters. People, don't be changing your letters around unless you know what you're doing. You know, we have children that play this game. I see. No one really looks. Not really. Honestly, they don't. Well, they probably do, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't look. It's just like when I go to a farm, I am so guilty of it. Like when I went to Ace's farm like recently because of the ticket issues. I went to his farm, and very honestly, I had no clue that he put on every single line, the tickets, the tickets, the tickets. Because when I go to a farm, I just go there, hit A, and I do my thing, okay? And then, a ticket issue came up, and I'm like, I've never seen that before. So, I had to, because generally when I go to a farm, and I'm sure everybody's guilty of that, I'm sorry, but I can't imagine everybody reads what that thing says. Because if you do, God bless you, because I don't read it. I just hit my A button, go do my thing on the farm, and I'm good to go. Yeah, but now, see, it's a clear and strong statement. Oh, you do? God bless you. Did you see that? She picks up those tickets. God bless her. She picks them up. I don't pick them up. Well, I will now because, I don't even pick up my own tickets. I mean, I have 180 tickets. A whopping 180 tickets. Okay? And very honestly, the only time if I pick up a ticket is if it's in my direction. That's it. That's it. I think MFB is the best. Yeah, see, I'm not a tickety person. I don't know. I haven't been to that yet. I haven't crossed that road where I want to use those tickets. Well, yeah, see, I don't know. It's bad. I mean, not bad enough, and I don't want to say that in a negative way. I mean, I love the event. I love the event one. I love that building because Um, I can also get gold from that. You know, I mean, I know I can go to the other building, but I can see, look at, there's a ticket, woo woo. But I can go to the other building and do that. I know, huh? Let me tell you something. The farms that I go to, and it's horrible because I I really don't pay attention to what it says on the farm. I just don't. Um, and when I go to farms, ladies and gentlemen, most of the time, I go to these farms, they're high end and things like that. But here's the thing: I often look at, like, and I tell this to people too, is that I often look at the inventory. Like, here you got your tomatoes, you got your peppers and your grapes, okay, and the berries. No, I don't pay much attention to that. But if you have an option to do free farming, and when I say, like, like the free chickens, free animals roaming around, I think it's very helpful to the farmer, okay, to the player, because let's say, and it does happen to me a lot with the pears, the lemons, the fish, apples. I often say to people, if you don't know what to plant, um, I often say, you know what, if you don't want to plant the four food groups, which I do a lot, but when it comes to planting other things, okay, and especially where I've gone to farms, like where the tomatoes, the peppers, the grapes, berries, not so much. Because the milk, for example, okay, so, harvesting. But these other three, the tomatoes, peppers, and grapes. Oh, and there is one other one I gotta, well, tomatoes and grapes. There's one other one I'm missing. But if you notice, my three that I use from factories. See, I try to, kind of put that out there to people. Say, well, you know what? If you don't know what to plant, don't do a 12-hour one, because that's just not right. Unless it's a quested item. Or 2-day ones. That's just not right. It's being silly. Um, I hope you change the name of your tractor, though, to that MFB. That would be nice. Because it's like this. Everybody sees something and they kind of look at those letters and they go, oh, I know what that means. Are you sure about that? You know, um, it's where that person's mind is at. And, I'm like the outspoken one of the bunch. And I don't think those kind of thoughts. I just think, oh, okay. I would think it's Madam Flutterby. I would think that. Absolutely. But then on the other hand, somebody else might be thinking the other way. And you know what? That's on them. It's not on you. It's on them. I finally had to turn these little gas pumps around. Well, I would think so, because I would just hope so and think so that they would think that. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, and plus you do streaming, so maybe you can do a little thing about your license plate, and then yeah, I love. Well, yeah, they are a little bit on the expensive side. You know, if you remember Farm Together one, that little skinny pump, I love that pump. I love that thing. I thought that was great, and I used to have a lot of them on my farms, even though they didn't give you much gas. Because what was it? We had that other thing that was on Farm Together one, that gaudy looking. I have no idea what the heck it was. A fuel thing. If you had that on your farm, it would, I guess, would give you more fuel or something. And then, of course, like the warehouse. Oh, because on Farm Together one, it was always wall to wall farm. barns or warehouses, just there. Um, and that was always like, oh my, I mean, I would go to some beautiful farms. Let me see. Um, the little ones, I don't see they have the barns, but they don't have the little small little gas ones. I don't. They don't have them on farm together too, but they do have them on farm. Oh, there was a lady who, and I thought, that's really an ingenious idea, and I kind of set it up that way. Maybe someday what I'll do is, oh, when I get brave enough, I'll do a farm together one and show you all those little things. I mean, I loved my little amusement park. When they had the Ferris wheel and things like that. That was from Farm Together one. Um, and of course, and I loved those spooky trees. And so what I would do is I set up a little bit of spooky trees around and put the tents there with the little fire, with the little campfire, and it looked pretty cool. It looked really cool how that came out. Yeah, yeah. Because one of the things was I remember playing Farm Together one, and see, like what I always do is I try to get my farm set up, like like this, okay, and then Maya at some point she'll be here. Um, I also try to set it up with some kind of a theme, whether a person goes over there or not. But I'd like to have some type of theme, and that's what I did on Farm Together One. Um, I used to set it up just to have like a theme, of different areas. Um, we had that one with the ski lodge and Santa Claus and the reindeers and all that in the sleigh. Um, So I did. I set it up with the ski lodge and the snow and yeah. But I mean that's what I would do. I would set it up so it would just look like, and of course, had the gnomes. Um, but then what I did was um, would put it around. And like if you remember some of the milk trucks and things like that, and then, or vegetables that they put, I mean, I kind of like those, but I especially love those little mini gas pumps. I did. I love those. I mean, the big ones were okay, but I like the little ones. Let me see. I don't think. Um, there was our little small barn, aka the big barn. The big barns was the warehouse and Farm Together one. So, no. Um, let me see. And these were always great. The beach balls, the soccer ball. Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm confused. Football? That's not a football. That's a soccer ball. Hello? That is not a football. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Someone better tell them how to make a football. Because that's not a football. It is definitely not a football. I just noticed that just now. Oh, and the stands, I haven't demonstrated this, but now that I know what a football looks like, oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, those were always great. But I don't know, man. It's probably hidden somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? Uh, the spooky bench. Because I mean, that was my thing too. It was like, well, why do we have all these benches and then not? I love these guys here, my little gnomes that are just laying around. And now, see, I remember this one here, the goal thing from Farm Together one, and then of course the stands. I don't think the stands actually looked like that. I think they were a little different. Oh, goodness. Really? It's a football in the UK. I did not know that. But, wait a minute. Okay, so y- you don't call those soccer balls. They're called, and I get what you're saying, why they would be called a football. So, okay, so then I'm waiting for this one. What do they call a football? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how there is the sport football. So what do they call that? Right? Really? Oh, now I have to find a rugby ball because I've never seen a rugby ball. So now I'm going to have to look. Wow. That's interesting. Ah. Here we are talking about balls, ladies and gentlemen. I know you all enjoy that. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna have to check that now. I'm gonna have to check that. I'm definitely gonna have to check that now. And I hope you make your plate the way it's supposed to be. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Um, that is interesting. So you would call our footballs rugby balls? And then their soccer balls are called footballs. I get that. That is interesting. Huh. Now that is a very, very, very interesting thing. Wow. Wow. Wow, that is interesting. But you have rugby, which is, now I have to see a rugby game, guys. Because I have no clue. Oh, gosh. That's interesting. And by the way, I keep forgetting to say thank you, but you know what? When you was doing the roads, madam, it was just awesome because, I was so beside myself. I was watching you without the pet. Yeah. Wow. Now, and when I was watching you do a little area of doing a road, I'm like, okay, how is she doing that? That was when we could put that little curvy thing in the road. So, I watched your video a couple of times, just that little section of how you making the roads turn. And I was like, and I'm still practicing, by the way. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you. Yeah, we're talking about balls in the after in the alphabet. What do you think, guys? And how many tickets do I get now on my phone? Oh, that one ran away. So I got one ticket, and I passed it right by. But that would be kind of interesting if they did a Farm Together 3, but this time around using some exotic animals. That would be very. Well, that's what I'm saying. I learned that from you. I learned how to do it from you because, I was like, okay, so how do I do this? And I watched you doing it. So I said, oh, okay, so. I'm still practicing at it. By the way, I'm still practicing because I know a lot of people are doing those curvy roads and things like that. But yeah, yeah. Because because if you notice, I've never done anything on how to make the paths or the roads or whatever you want. I've never done that. Never. You did though, and I'm like, because it was just really funny. Maybe you should do a little segment on it because I'm sure there's people like me that go, "How does she do that?" Because I use a controller, and so when I was watching you do that, I'm like, "Huh? Oh, that's how she does it. Okay." And I did. I watched it a couple of times. You can sink boulders into hills. What? Wait, you can? I didn't know that. See, I'm learning. I didn't know that. Well, that's just like the ducks. They go in the water, and a lot of people didn't know that. And I thought everybody knew that. You know, and but not just the mountains, just the hills. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, well, I don't have any hills on my map. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I flattened it already. Okay, I get what you're saying. So I have to, the hills. Okay, I'll have to test that out. Well, you know what? Near my, well, I recycled the farm, of course. I have a mine. I had a mine there, and basically what I did was I did take the boulders and stuff, and I set it up, and I thought, wow, that looked, and I can't get that same effect anymore because you know what? I bet you it's because the land was raised a little bit. So when I put the boulders up, it surrounded the mine, which was awesome. It came out really good. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, because I wanted to, because I had it set with the mine, there, but then around it, I put the boulders around it, and it was perfect. It was like a natural effect. So when I tried doing it again, I don't, it doesn't do it. But now I know probably why. Now I know why. I haven't done that. Red America. I love. I'm glad they brought this from Farm Together one too. Is the rice? I like that. Even though, yeah, it takes a long time, and I've never prestiged them at all. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to, it's like because the way I had the mine set up in that little teeny area, um, and then I put the boulders down. I was like, oh, this is good. And then I put another one down. I said, oh, this looks great. But never, I just never gave it a thought that. Because, like I said, I can't get that same effect now. I cannot get that same effect. So now I know why. Yep, I want that. Look at my. See, now this is this is what I would do. Like, see, that's why I only have the 3 farms, by the way. But this is what I do. Like, if my farm is shut down, which it was yesterday, but if my farm was shut down during the event, it will be shut down for maybe an hour at the most. And the only reason why I do that is because I come here, I do this, do my animals, and then go back, you know. And I have to be very careful because you know why? When it's I'll show you when I had that event farm all set up, you're gonna see massive amounts of people going there, and it's nonstop. It's like, and people, do me a favor, please be nice to each other. Don't get rude or whatever you do. Just don't get rude because I only had it happen once. I felt like yelling out "food fight" or something. You know what I'm saying? Because there was these people on my, during an event, doing their thing, and then somebody said, "How rude," and I'm like, "What the heck?" I didn't even know what was going on. And when they did the "how rude," I'm like, just sitting there watching the conversation. And then I think what happened was another player, which I've seen people do. I've seen you all do it. You're not everybody, but some of you. I have seen people basically. I've had it happen to me. I'd be like, "What are you doing?" Okay. Oh, actually, let's go to my farm one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Um. Oh, what am I doing this for? Because that's not the way to do it. Okay. Go to farm one, and I'll show you something. And I know it happens even on Ace's farm. And I get it. I totally understand. I've seen people do it in flower farms as well. Okay. What I've seen people do is, you know how you got your rows going across and everything else, right? But what I've seen people do accidentally, sometimes it's on purpose too, um, is okay, this is your first row. Okay. So what I've seen people do is, um, Chucky Baby's over here on number 1, and I'm over here on number whatever that is, the home thing. Um, I've seen people going up one and someone else coming from there on the same row. Like on Ace's farm, he has all lettuce, okay? So basically, I can understand how someone doesn't even realize that, hey, he's coming up the same row as me. But by the time you realize it, you're somewhere there in the middle and you pass each other, like 2 ships in the night. Okay. Um, and you know something? It's not a big deal, but when there are events going on, don't cut in front of people like that because you will get your event items. I mean, come on. There are lots of farms out there aside from mine. They open their farms up for you to go and get your event items. Okay? And they gladly leave their farms open 24/7 like I have, and believe you me, I've done it for like 2 or 3 days at a time, you know, just so people can get their stuff. And I know that when the event does start, the first 2 days are the worst because people, especially now there's new stuff, um, and basically, what I've seen people do is seriously is like sometimes. That's why sometimes too you will see high fences, and the reason being is because they don't want your fence hopping over to the next one. You know, it, you will get your stuff. Now, you can't see what's on the top of my map. No, you can't. But like I have my lettuce and my tea, my herbs, or whatever. But this whole area here will be the kitty Tinkerbells and, of course, our zebras. The one thing that I will ask, but it's not a big thing, but if you see me, like let's say, for example, if I think that I can't handle the wheat that needs to be put out for, what did I say? Um, 12 to 14,000 zebras that eat wheat, okay? So my thing is, I might just convert this lettuce because nobody comes here for favor when it's an event. So what I might do is convert these rows down here, which will be easy peasy to do. I will convert those to wheat, and there's that, and it'll be fine. Yeah, see. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, it's gonna be, but you know what? I'm gonna be ready for it this time around. You know, it's kind of like with that first Easter event. I learned a great deal from that. Um, but and that's why the reason I basically, I mean, we've got 6 farms, ladies and gentlemen, and I know you're sitting there going, yeah, easy for you to say. Do you have 6 open? No, I do not. But what I finally decided to do was what since this beginning of this year was to make one farm, which is a dedicated event farm. That's all it is. So, and believe it or not, that event farm that I like this, like when this event's over with, it'll probably sit there for a little while anyway. But yeah. Oh, well, you're lucky you didn't. I'm telling you, because the Easter event was really a nightmare. I mean, I remember, seeing between Ace and Mr. T because Maya and I, oh God, because we helped with the eggs. You know what I'm saying? So that was the easy peasy part. And then Mr. T, which was so hilarious. I thought that was so funny because I started realizing it on my own farm, right? But of course, between Ace and Mr. T, um, it was kind of like because I'm seeing all these red X's on his the rabbits, and he had his vertical as opposed to no, 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 no. No, he didn't have. Yes, he did. He had them vertical, and then he had the other ones horizontal. Okay, so and that was when I just like for me personally, I discovered there's a break. I'm sure he did too, because when it reached that certain number, um, he had to kind of put a line in between, so that way somehow figure it out. Um, so I remember saying to Mr. T, I think you need more berry trees. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I think you need more berry trees, dude. So he did. He put them right down here on the bottom of his. Now, at the time, we only had 800, okay? 8 and 4. Well, actually, maybe a little more than 4. And he did. He ended up putting berry trees down here. And I used to say to him, don't forget you got to feed your workers, you know what I'm saying? Because. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, at that time, I mean, it really was a nightmare. It just was such a nightmare. Oh, I gotta get out of this. It was such a nightmare because at the time, and if a lot of you can remember, we only had one, two, three, four. That's it. We did not have any other berry trees. Oh, I'm sorry. We had pine berries and we had strawberries, which would take forever and a day to, I mean, to grow. I mean, not that it was a big thing, But when you need that crop, oops, it's probably going to be, yeah, because they're both, one's a winter one. Okay, so now both will be hidden. Go figure. Because with that crop being, where is it? Come on, come on, come on. Why is that like that? I don't know. Okay. So this one here is 10 hours or 11 hours. When you put it under sprinklers, 5 hours. Okay. Oops, excuse me. Yeah. It's 5 hours, 5.5. And then your strawberries are basically, I think those are the same time frame. So, I mean, it was crazy. But at least we all learned a lesson, though, right? You know, that's how I look at it. It was just crazy. Well, you know something, madam. You know what I did? Because, I mean, obviously we can extend it. The pineapples, you know, I never really, I mean, I did and didn't really plant a lot of the pineapples crop-wise. And I was really glad to see that they, see, because what I did was, because now we are seriously loaded with those. So basically, because I know some people wonder, why is my stuff full? Okay, so here's basically what I did on my third farm. You know, that's my fish farm, which, like, again, I don't touch it. These flowers, I mean, I do, but, you know, it just depends. But look at all, I mean, seriously, these are all the pineapples that we have in game. That's a lot. And, so, and what I did was I broke it down to, with my worker. Let me go over here and I'll show you what I did. Obviously these are your banana trees, right? So let me just break it down and show you what I did. It's really easy peasy to do. It's not a big thing. Okay, so here's my worker, right? And if you have your worker at 24 by 24, okay, this is what I did. Okay, so what I did was, and there's not a lot of, well, there is, but here's what I did. What tree is this? What banana tree is it? Banana tree. Okay, so it's a banana tree. It's your basic banana tree. Okay? And the thing about your basic banana trees is, with the exception of that coconut tree, because first time I saw this going down, I'm like, okay, so we're not getting coconuts, we're getting pineapples, yeah. But God bless them for doing whatever they're doing. But anyways, I took see if you look, it says I have 286 bananas. 288. But now, it really comes down to 286. Give or take a few, like this. And the reason why one is going to be shorter than the other and one has more is because it's taking up that worker space. So what I did was, I have, somebody's following me. Oh, thank you so very much, May, for the follow. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, you see this worker guy and this worker guy. Those are their two little spots, right? Okay, so from here to here, okay, what I did was straight down with the bananas. I actually did 2 rows. Okay, so from this very first worker to the next one, because he has a row. Okay, so from this worker guy, and if you notice, they're 24 by 24. Okay, and the other, they're all 24 by 24. They went from 18 to 24, which was awesome. So what I did was, I started this row here, okay, all the way down to the end of the second worker's line, you know. And then I did this, and then, of course, the bananas. So, which equal to 286 trees. That's all you need. I mean, because, especially if you're doing pineapples. And, so, and plus now, I have bananas here. These are not all bananas. There's burro banana and red Dhaka, blue Java. Okay? And the reason how that's set up is because how I did it was, see the 286? And I know that says 288, but bear this in mind. It's because when you go from the first worker and then you go to the second one, now the first worker is going to have a line in between, the first worker and the second worker. There's not when I say a line, it'd be like a boundary. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. And again, I don't have to worry about these trees. And sometimes these pineapples, if I stay here long enough, they will fill up very quickly. So I never have to worry about it. Because, see how my pineapples are now 22,000. And, okay, so this is when I say about the first line, this is, all in here is 24 by 24, okay? So now here's my second worker. So with the first worker here, he stops right there. Then my second worker picks up. And again, these are all the banana trees straight down. Okay? And when I say the line, okay, I can't use my mouse because it's not going to let me. But if you see where I'm standing, okay, that's the line. I call it the line. Simply because it's where it starts on the very top where the first worker is, down to here. But if you don't want to have 286 of that, then, change it up however you want it. Now, what I did here, again, these are the coconut trees, right? And it's only 2 rows. But then I did the fillers, which is the avocados, okay? So one of the things about, when you're putting your trees, doesn't matter what it is, I try to set it up in the way that, it evens out. Here's a good example. Like, we only have 3 English holly trees, right? But we only have 1 flowering cherry tree. Okay, but it's not on this farm, it's on the other farm. But I took my 3 holly trees, and by the way, the holly trees come from the Frosty Pack. If you're saying Hollywood, what do you mean? Okay, these came from the Frosty Pack if you purchased it. This one here is just the one you get. But the thing that I liked about the holly trees, they're all winter, okay? So my worker, all they have to do is just these and this one. But again, I worked in groups of 4 of whatever that is. So, like, we had the 4 bananas. That's very significant. We have 3 of these, but then I put this in as a filler. Okay? So, when I did these ones here, there was 4 of these. So I said, put these together. And again, it's 4 different type trees, but when you connect them with, like the 2 workers, it works out and you don't have to have so many. Now the avocados, that was a little different because I think 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you could do 1 or 2 things instead of it being repetitive. Like I did the coconut tree. Okay, then you can do 1, 2, and then up there is 3. Okay, and now it's like you're almost done getting your, the pineapple trees down. And again, you don't have to do 286. You could do, whatever number works for you. It works for me. They get full, and because it used to be, I want to say people that are first starting out, you might want to do 200 or 300 of a particular tree. And the reason why I say that is especially if you have factories on your farm, that's the route to take. If you have 100 trees up, well, it's going to take you a little longer. But if you're new to the game and you're still starting out, yeah, you know what? You could still get away with doing 100, maybe, 150. It just depends. Um, but that's how you do it, you know. Um, oh, I know, huh? Well, see, maybe that's why they threw in so many pineapples. Who knows? Um, and again, and that's what I mean, look at your spices. These are horrible. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but this is horrible. I really couldn't wait. And I found out something very interesting about the Ceylon cinnamon tree today or last night. I was reading an article about it. But I basically rely heavily on the Ceylon and the Cassia. And the only reason why I do is because they both complement each other. And what I mean by when a tree complements one another, I mean they give you 4 seasons together. So these two trees, they give you basically all 4 seasons when you have them together. Okay? Because 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? You get 4 other cinnamon trees. The drawback about these 4 cinnamon trees, summer, fall, and spring, summer. None are winter. So, in a sense of the word, they don't complement one another. Same thing when you go look at your peanut trees. Okay? The only 2 trees that I found that complement one another is the pine tree because it's fall, winter, and pistachio, spring, summer. Those are the only 2 trees that complement one another. Yeah. Yep. I mean, and I know for some of you, you sit there going, but seriously, if you even put down a small amount of these trees that complement one another, you're going to get more out of them than you would if it was like this tree. I can't. Look at that. You see that? The lime tree? That is the slowest one of the slowest trees to level up. And if you look, 1 season, you know? So there's that. Yeah, there's only 3 for pears. Yep. Like, here's another thing that we learned this the hard way too. Ace could tell you this. Like it used to be when we first started playing. A lot of us were using, we did lettuce. But then we discovered, bamboo. You know something? For the longest time, I just specifically used the bamboo tree, and that's how I fed my cows. I mean, I literally put the bamboo trees right near my cows, and that's how I fed my cows, because it's a all season tree. So there's that. Pear trees isn't bad because it is missing winter. Then you've got this tree which has winter. Winter now. Notice I said winter. And this one, because these two are both one and the same. So the only difference between these 2 trees is your cost. Okay? And I don't go by what it gives me. I go by, the cost. Yeah, I mean, I did the bamboo thing. I was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I did. I put the cows and the bamboo trees right next to each other. And, when it was time for me to go harvest my cows, bamboo trees. Yeah, that worked for me. It wasn't the lettuce for a long time, till now. That's why we have the lettuce farms. And I tell people with new farms, I know, guys, you're thinking, ugh. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, and there was a lot of experimentation and discoveries back in the day when we first started playing, honestly. I mean, we had so many wonderful experiences, because I mean, now we've got oodles of fish. Well, the low-end type fish. But, I remember having a lot of canneries well, I thought 10 was a lot. I think, yeah, I had between 8 and 10 way back when. I can have 8 or 10. It don't matter now because, but the thing I learned about our very first fish, we only had 9. And then the others was what, 16 and 11. So I'm like, because I said, hey, so you having a problem with your fish? Like, and he too was the low end ones. It was these ones, these little guys right here. It was these, not this one that's here, but it was all these little low end ones. It was just and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, when did this happen? Farm together, 2 lettuce farms are getting nerfed on the favor. Well, you know what? There's always corn. 50%. Wow. Wow. Yeah, link that. I want to. That's kind of silly now. You know what I'm saying? Why would they? Ugh. But it isn't. But it's basically, I want to say the same as, okay, yes, people, I get it. Available. Let me just put it down for category. No, resource. Let me do this. Okay. And a lot of people have them up still to this day. You're not going to see the well, you're not going to see very much the difference, but here's the thing. There was the pink poinsettias. That's still a big trend, is the poinsettias. Okay? So, yeah, you need. Yeah, I'll still go to Ace's farm. I'm just going to be very careful if I drop any tickets, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be very careful. I'm going to make sure nobody knows I dropped a ticket or something. I'm just saying. But, I mean, I think it goes for anything. They did. They did. That's right. You remember when they did the inventory thing? And, they said that the inventory, we're going to get a lot more, inventory space. But the thing that they didn't do was they did not do that for the poinsettias. Well, at least the pink ones. See, Ace, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to behave myself. I'm not going to say it, guys. I know you want me to say it, but I'm not going to say it. Okay. Okay, here's pink ones, right, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. And the pink ones take 2 days, 6 hours, right, guys? Okay. Here's the I love these ones here. Okay, so this takes 2 days and 12 hours. Wow. And the XP is 10 points less than pink. Okay? I'm just saying. Oh, help me, Lord. Help me. Help me. I always get in trouble. I'm always getting into trouble. Only I can get in trouble. But anyway, I actually was stuck on the polar bear ones too. You know why? Because I think I just love the name polar bear. I did. I mean, you don't get a whole heck of a lot of things, but I did like the polar bear ones for a while. And these were horrible. Look at that. Royal blue poinsettias, right? I think that's the first one you get is the blue ones. Oh, it's horrible. It's a horrible thing. And, but I just was beside myself when I first had to put those down, and of course, I had a quest for them. And just so I could travel to my flowers are up here, I put a house up here or something. I put a travel spot up there. Oh wait, where am I now? Oh no, oh, go back up to my house. I put a travel spot here. Mm, okay, so now I got flowers. See, and there again, I threw in my. What did I put over here? I put fruit bats and. Oh, yes. See, fruit bat and dragon fruit trees. That's what I did. Well, I think my farm is diversified, isn't it? I mean, I think it is. I just don't like the idea with the tickets that they won't come to you. You have to, because they said, and so I said it in Reddit. Oh, I'm not even gonna go there. You guys know what I'm talking about. And it said they did it like that so you're not sitting there idly. I have a problem with that. Um, how many of you go to a farm? Well, here's what happens. How many of you go to a farm, right? And I've had it happen lots of times with other players. And how many of you have gone to a farm and just gone, put it there, say, okay, I'll be. You don't even say that because I say it. But how many of you just sit there for a moment on somebody's farm, okay? And you know, here's some crazy player just sitting there. Well, what are they doing? You know what? They're probably on the phone. They're probably, I don't know. They're probably grabbing some cupcakes or something, or maybe a cup of coffee or tea, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, I did have an incident, and I blocked her because I thought she was a little strange. Um, I had don't ever. I'm telling you right now. I mean, people say the strangest things, but I did. I had somebody ask me if they could sleep in my house. I thought she was kidding. She was not kidding. She was not kidding. Well, I would go grab a drink sometimes too, and if it is long lines, I agree. But oh, see, there is a great excuse why I did not pick up the ticket. Aha! I have it. Yay me. I didn't pick up the ticket because, you have such beautiful, lovely long lines, sir, that I went and got myself a soda. I went and got myself a cup of coffee. And by the time I got back, whoop, there it is. There's my excuse. Ah, ha. So I won't get banned. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, I just kind of wonder, Ace, do you pick up tickets with four of your little guys running around on the farms? I'm just kind of wondering. You know what I'm saying? Ah, but see, so there's my excuse. Thank you, madam. I love her. See what I'm saying? She's like one of the best players. She's got a great excuse. I mean, I get it. Oh my God, you are such a stickler. I mean, you know what I'm saying, people? Isn't he? um, but I want to get back on the subject of people cheating, and I don't get it either when they do it the farm together. All right, but I don't think I cheat though when I play like I was saying earlier about the different games I play. If I'm playing, and again, I suppose Farm Together can be played as a single player, and you can't. Well, you could go to other farms See, like if I put my farmers offline, I can still go to other people's farms. So there's that. But when I'm playing other games and I feel like, yeah, well, I've done that. I have honestly have done that where people think I'm not online, but I really, well, I'm not online technically. I am just playing my, I'm just playing my game, setting things up. That's what I basically do. But I mean, basically too. Like I said, I think okay, perfect example because I've seen Madam do the videos on them. Like there's Fallout and Fallout is Fallout, and then Fallout 4. Okay, so um, I don't think they have any for Fallout, but I do know that they do have for Fallout 4. I mean, I played Fallout for years. I was so, the thing is, I think the first time I played it, I think I did play on my phone or some silly thing like that or my tablet. And then I played, yeah, I did play on my PC. I was addicted to that game. But Fallout 4, obviously it's what I did was um, they had mods, and I don't mean mods that well they do have those too. Um, I actually yes they do. Okay, so the thing about that is that I will play like I sometimes have and I know a lot of you are guilty of this. You will play a game to death, like you keep playing it because you love playing the game and stuff like that. So what I will do, and I don't like I said, I don't consider it cheating. Um, I will go in there, for example, and to Nexus Mods, that's what it's called. I go there and I will pick up stuff for Fallout 4, and mainly, yeah, yeah. See, Fallout Shelter is really a heck of a fun. You know how many times I failed at that stupid thing? um, Because like when I first started playing it, of course, you play it, then you say, "Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do this." Um, I played that a lot, and and at the time too, of course, I had to play it over. I mean, I had to play it over and over again, make new shelters, only because when you first start playing, you learn from that, then you make a whole totally new shelter, then you do it again and again. But that's what I did. Yeah, I mean, I did. I've done that many times. Just delete the one I just had that was fully opened and stuff like that. Um, but I did. I kind of liked it. I liked it when that you could send them out to go exploring or whatever they're doing, and so there was that. And isn't it? And it's like when you have them work in the kitchen area with the food and doing different things. You gotta make sure they're in their right place. And so I mean I did that, and I think what I want to say. I think there were mods for that, but I never used them. I think there were mods out for that game. But again, it's a single player game. Just like Fallout 4. That's a single player game. So, yeah, the only mods I basically looked for were when you would build the towns, like the little areas, that they lived in. That was the only time. And then Skyrim, the same thing. I really enjoy playing a game that it's like that you do building. Okay, Farm Together, on the other hand, is kind of different, but I still like that type of game. It goes by genre. What do you like playing? You know, I was just reading something the other night where this person was saying about a game, but then they realized that it's a time management game, and some can be like that. I guess it just depends. Um, but yeah, I mean, it just depends on what games you play. I mean, when it comes to a game that's a co-op, a multiplayer game, um, people will cheat, unfortunately, and that's why I guess no, there was no guess about it. When I used to play Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, there was so many cheaters, excuse me, in the game. I'm like, you know what? I will never do the PvP part of it. I stopped doing that. Then they had Gambit, which I will say it's PvP, but not like PvP. If any of you play Destiny, you know exactly what I'm saying. Gambit to me was a lot of fun because only one player from each team could go to the other side. Okay, and you had to be quick about it. You couldn't just dilly dally and because you only had so much time to go over, do your damage, and then leave, and hopefully don't die. That's how that used to work. Oh, I'm sure it is. And honestly, I think I played Fortnite like once or twice. Yeah, I mean, and see, and I think that's the other thing too, because um, like I played Battlefield in this other war type game. But the thing is, you can, and I mean, I don't know. It's like they can put the cheat stuff on there, the anti-cheat, whatever you want to call it, on there. I mean, honestly, it's not. It's not, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You know, um, why people cheat is beyond me. I mean, I guess they want to get their stats up. They the higher the kills. I don't know. I like a game I can enjoy and have fun at. That's kind of mainly my thing. Um, when I was looking at this game the other day, but I'm not sure if I want to. I'm not sure about it. But I was looking at this game the other day, and it was like a space game, sort of based. Basically, it was the same as No Man's Sky. The beauty about No Man's Sky, which they finally did, was before you even start playing. Okay, and by the way, that is co-op multiplayer. Okay. The beauty about that game is this. Um, because I know that I had friends come play No Man's Sky, for example, and what happened was, they didn't quite understand some of the mechanics of the game when you go to different planets, and because some are cold, some are hot, some are okay, and then of course, I mean, there's such a variety. And then of course you got your spaceship. If you want to chase after pirates, you can do that. Things like that. Um, but what they do have is now, which I think is so totally awesome. The developers put it in there, so it's basically you won't die, or anything like that. It's they have all different settings in there, so you can set it to however you want to set it. So that way, to me, the way they have it set up is that you can actually have the game. It's almost like you're learning how to play. You're learning, and you don't really have to learn very much about your spaceship because you just build it or buy it or whatever. But then you can make your own base with the flowers and the things like that. And but it's kind of like they put that section in there as a learning tool for those that want to learn how to play No Man's Sky. Um, and so that's, I mean, because I know, like, when I first started playing it, let me tell you, just like any game, I had no clue what I was doing. I was really lucky to meet a friend in the game that he gave me a bunch of money, which, what am I supposed to do with that? Um, but he got me started in the sense where, you know, you're all set, do this. And so I remember, going on a planet and exploring things, and then I'm stupidly dying over there. But then I realized, oh, you got to collect these little things so that you'll have the oxygen, kind of stuff. And I know it might sound a little technical, but it's really not. It's an easy game to play. But I enjoyed it. Some people like, "Ugh." Well, you know what? It's whatever floats your boat. That's how I look at it. Um, and it's just like Farm Together. I mean, some people may play it, they don't like it. Some people play it and they cheat. I don't know why they do. To this day in my brain, I don't understand it because um, they go to somebody else's farm, they harvest everything really fast. Woo woo! You can go run around and race your little, you know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I will admit that I have not on this farm, but I will admit on another farm that I play on, I've used some of the mods, and I think um, and I think what I and actually I deleted that game. No, no. Well, here's the thing. I remember using a mod, but nobody goes on that farm. See, there's a difference. I remember I used a mod on another farm, completely not this farm at all. Um, it's actually in a separate account. And I was using it just to kind of test things out to see how it works and see what doesn't work and what screws your game up. And I did that, but I won't do that. Um, oh, Ark was so awesome. Oh my God, I loved Ark. I had my own server with Ark. Oh my God, I love that game. Um, and being that they made me, because on the server they made me an admin, we used to call it magicking it up. And this is what we did. Um, we could do different colored, oh gosh, what were those things called? The birds that you fly around on. Oh, jeebus, I'm never going to forget the name. Now I forgot the name of them. But you could fly around on them. And the dragons, I mean, um, that was a lovely, lovely game. That was a lovely game. I enjoyed it. No, they were the ones that you fly around on. Oh, griffins! Griffins! That'd be it. The griffins. Um, it's been a long time since I played it. Um, one of the things, like he was like one of the owners of the server. So he was showing me how they made different color griffins. And some of them are really beautiful. Um, and so, I was like learning all of that. But it was really neat. I loved it. I loved Ark. Ark was a fun game, though. um, yeah, I enjoyed that game a lot. It was fun. Especially when you had to go out and build your base and things like that. I loved it. It's just a lot of fun. And I think now that obviously compared to the first one that I was playing, that they came out with obviously a newer one. But Ark was always a fun game. I did go to other servers where people weren't so very nice. Um, so, and I ended up with the server. So, and I had people on there all the time. You know, I used to say to them, you steal from others, you're going to get booted. You do this, you're going to get booted. You'll be banned. You won't be coming back. And I think I had to ban one person. And that's because I had a favorite griffin. And I know you're thinking, a favorite? Well, what happened was they went in, they took and used my griffin, and all of a sudden they lost it. God only knows where they lost it at. And we tried finding it. Ooh. Well, take it easy, madam, and thank you so very much for being here. You know you appreciate it anytime being here. Thank you so very much. Um, but anyways, I remember playing it, and yeah, we all had a blast playing that game. A whole bunch of us played, and which was interesting. But it was a great game. But I wish we could all just do a petition. See, then we wouldn't have people like Ace. I wish that all we had to do was just let the ticket come to you. That's all. It's that simple. I also done and here's the other thing too is and it's not that I'm being lazy, honest to God, guys. It's I'm not being lazy whatsoever at all. What kind of gets me is and some people I understand. Sometimes people don't want to pick up the tickets because they're like, well, what do I get out of the deal? Nothing. You get absolutely nothing, but a thank you maybe if the person's there. You're helping their farm, you know, because there are people out there that like the tickets, they use the tickets, you know. And here's the thing, guys. You have 15 minutes to pick up that ticket. Now, here's what I kind of observed throughout my experience playing this game. When you're talking a 15-minute time limit, right? And you guys are getting your favor in. Okay. And let's say row whatever you were on has a ticket that you did. Can't you just run over there and just get the ticket and leave? You've got 15 whole entire minutes. And I know if you were doing 15 minutes of harvesting lettuce, I don't think so. It's kind of like, who would do 15 minutes of... I mean, there are those that do that, but what I'm trying to point out to you is that when you are doing lettuce especially, okay, I've seen people do 1-2 rows, be gone. 3, that's pushing it. Okay. See, I haven't had the pleasure yet to run out of favor, so I wouldn't know. But I know that my favor is 201. Okay. I know you see 598 over 201, but the reason why you see now 598 is from all the events. Every time there's favor, I build it up, so I don't have to worry about running out. So this event that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to build up that favor until until the next event, the next event, the next. I mean, I can get it up to over 1,000, and I don't care what level you are. You can do the same. So that's a heads up and an FYI, because on my other account, she's what I know she's under level 200, okay? And yeah, and her favor is terrible. But the thing is, because I did this in theory, was I had her, just keep getting favor, and I went during events, and just because I wanted to see how high up it can get it. On this one here, on my current account, this one right here, I can get it up to over 1,000 easily. And you guys can do the same. And so, and I know that Ace and I had seen this happen, because I'm like, so is it like I'm not going to say it too loud, but I don't think it's a glitchy thing. I think it's just a thing. Because one time, I went to Ace's farm, and, I went to get favor to do the lettuce. But the thing that was odd about it was, when I went back, I got more favor. I got more favor, doing the lettuce when I used when I went to go get favor. So I went to go and get some. I came back to his farm, and I couldn't believe how fast. I mean, that favor just popped right back. When I tried it a second time, in a different area, different farm, it didn't work. So I don't know if it was just kind of a thing, a fluky thing. I have no idea. But I shall be right back. I want to go grab myself my coffee, guys. Yeah? See what I'm saying? I could be doing Ace's Farm right now. See what I'm saying, guys? I'm not I'm, I'm not trying to influence anybody to be bad. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying. Hey Ace, I have a question for you. Oh, now he's lurking. Oh gosh. Okay. Here's what I was kind of thinking too. You know how they did the deal with the poinsettias. Now they're doing the deal with the lettuce farm. So, which tells me, ladies and gentlemen, lettuce farms work. I mean, lettuce farms are really helpful to the player, not just to you per se that needs to get favor, but lettuce farms are a really good source to get diamonds, ladies and gentlemen, when you first start playing. Um, and maybe what I can do is show you exactly what I'm talking about because we did this for a friend of ours, her farm, and she was she was new, she had a new farm and all of that sort of stuff. So basically, we set her up with a small. I mean, I just want to get to this. See, I hate when you have to look for what you got to look for. And what am I looking for? A Jacob sheep. Oh, it's a sheep. What else besides Jacob's sheep? Oh, the tulips. I'm gonna go on my quest log so that way. Summer's coming. Tea factory. I'm gonna unpin that too. Local holidays. Goats. Okay. And a friendly blah blah. Okay, goats and sheep. So I'm gonna harvest. Even though it's one goat, I'm gonna do them all because it's always good so you can get the milk for that because you just run out. But and again, this is for the beginners. Like how I've gotten my farm set up. I only technically have 144 of each animal. I used to go really crazy and bizarre, but I have my farm set up on a smaller scale when it comes to how many animals I have and crops and things like that. Um, Whereas you will go to some of these other high end farms and they have a lot of a particular animal, or they have a lot of the animals. Like they might have 300 as opposed to I have 144, and that's not a lot. Um, but I keep it that low. I used to have it pretty high up, but then I figured, why am I doing that? See, I have 144. Um, but the reason behind that is that when you are harvesting your animals, I think the ones that take the longest, obviously, are going to be your horses and your donkeys. Okay, that's not a problem, horses and donkeys, right? But like your chickens are fast, and then it kind of gradually goes up. So, like, if you're somebody that plays all the time, um, you have, usually 2 to 3 hours for them to be ready to be harvested. So that's why you don't have to go crazy and overboard by putting down 2 or 300 of one particular animal. You can get away, with it being, to me, I want to say I'm just like the conservative farmer player or something. I don't know. Um, but that's how I have my farm set up. I have it set up in a conservative way. So, like, if the new person, and maybe tomorrow I'll do it because we've got 9 days for the event. So maybe what I'll do is tomorrow's, I'll set up another farm because I know now that we have a lot of new things as far as your land and things like that. So what I might do is show you how to set up, let's say, a lettuce farm. Now, whether people come to your farm or not, they got nothing to do with it because the point of lettuce is it's the cheapest for you to put down, and you make diamonds. That's how that works. What are you doing over there, Mr. Goat? You do not belong there with the pigs. I just don't understand myself, with them. They just do that. Um, but I just thought I'd kind of bring that to your attention. Maybe what I'll do is, like I said, I'll set up a little farm tomorrow for you, and just obviously, when it's going to be a new farm, that means I won't be able to get everything, but I want to show you where it would be to your advantage how you can, you know, get lots of diamonds, get your ribbons, and not go crazy and sit there and go, oh, I'm never gonna, because, and I really wished, we have in, I guess the best way to say it is when you look at the community in the Farm Together group, right? And I'm going to say this in all honesty, is that they are really a good group in that community. They're very nice people, and whether they cheat or not, I don't think so. But this is what I'm going to defend. If you're new to the game, don't go in there stating that you think it's impossible or any above for somebody to be level, let's say, 1,000, because it is possible. Um, you know what? I've been playing this game since it first came out, which was on PC. It never, ever, 2 years ago or so, more than two, it never went to the consoles. We were like I want to say, the people in that group, in their Discord channel, and Red Edit, and I think there was one other one. we were testing the waters for this entire game, and the devs were very dedicated to this game, and they still are to this very day. You know, if something's broken or something's glitchy or whatever, they fix it. You know, they address these issues. Um, but I want to defend the Farm Together community because there are those. I don't. I can't say it for myself, but there are those that play this game all the time. You know, I mean, I play it, but I don't play it all the time. I play other games too. But there are those that, you know, I mean, and you can see, go pop around some of these farms. Even take a look at some of the pictures on their Farm Together Discord channel, simply for the fact that some people really get extremely creative, and they do pixel art and, you know, things like that, which is just totally awesome, you know. But you know, when it comes to defending the community, when someone says it's impossible, I think they cheat. No, they don't. You know, really, they don't. And the thing is, you got to learn something here really quickly, because one of the things I know is, well, they said, well, this game's only been out for a year and a half, or, you know, I'm like, no, it's been out a lot longer than that. You know why it's been out a lot longer? Because it was on PC first. It was introduced into Steam. And I mean, obviously, that's how I know. And so, you know, there's that. But people don't really, because you go to their farm and their farm's level 1000, or because they're level 1000. Well, here's the deal. They also had, like me, they played beta. I did not play beta on this particular farm because, very honestly, I was just way too afraid of losing my game. And I know people can understand that because, you know, if you're playing Farm Together and you have a good farm, a good running farm, and then you play beta, you switch it to let it be beta, you know, I was not a trusting soul. I just said, no, you know, I'm good with what I got. You know, I'm like, but then I said, you know, I could always use my other, and thank God, because I did use the other account. Again, that's my testing account. I test everything on that one. I went to it, and, you know, I let it go into beta mode, but here's what happened. When I let it go into beta mode, uh, I decided, okay, now I want to go back to the normal thing, right? I almost thought I lost that account. Well, lost the farm. I was like, oh, I can't do that now. How do I back? I backed it up and everything. So, and then I was reading that the beta was going to end sometime in August, which thank goodness it was sooner than, which was fabulous. I appreciated that. Okay, so now I'm going to head back to my first farm because it's got it's got all my tea there. But I don't know what season it is. Okay. Huh. Wait a minute. Oh, it's the tea factory. Well, I'm being silly. Never you mind. See, guys, these are all my fish ones. I just recently added 4 of them. But I have all my factories on the same farm. I just think it makes sense to me to have all my factories on the same farm, and because, you know, at least you know what needs to be done and what doesn't need to get done. And so that's why on my first farm, yep, I got them all here. I have 8 of them. So let's do this. Oh, great. So I haven't been able to level up the other things. And guys, I want to put some prayers out there if you don't mind. I know you don't. We do this every day. I have to put prayers out for people that need them. And then I put prayers out for people that don't need them. Whether you know it or not, I put prayers out for everybody. So I'm just that type of a person. So with that, I want to put some prayers out for those that need them and don't need them. And I know you might be having a rough, tough day, but just try to just let it pass. Don't let it eat you up, because you don't want that. Um, I want to put some prayers out there for the caretakers that take care of others, whether it be a family member, a loved one, or just someone that you do at a hospital or at their home. Caretakers need a lot of, you know, actually support and understanding, because there are those, when you're taking care of somebody, it's one of those things. You wear your heart on your sleeve and you do what you can for that person, give them their dignity and respect that they deserve, because we all deserve that. You know what I mean? There's going to be a day when you're going to get old too, or whatever, or be sickly, and you're going to have maybe have a family member take care of you or help you. But then again, you might be somebody that's going to be in the hospital, and it's not going to be no family member. It's going to be actually probably one of those first responders. And the thing is, not to ignore the first responders, because they are very good at helping people as well. Because the first responders are always going to be your ambulance, EMTs and things like that, and firemen and police. And it just bugs the crap out of me when people disrespect the police. But something, when you need the police, you know what you do? You pick up the phone and you call them. So there's that. So it's like, I have respect for people that pick up that profession, just because, and they too need some prayers as well. So on your dark days, just remember, there are those that are thinking about you. They're praying for you. Um, just don't make any silly mistakes or silly moves, because that doesn't help either. It just makes it worse. Really, it does. Look at that. Watch my tomatoes go down. So, I just want to be able to put them out there for you. Someone's calling me, and I have no idea who. You know what? I'm gonna. I have a feeling it's a spam call, because it doesn't identify who they are. You know what I'm saying, guys? You know how when you get a phone call and you go, "Who's calling me?" and you say, "Hello, hello." Yeah, because they're either wearing a headset or something. I have no idea. I think it's a headset, and they can't hear you saying it. You know, and then they just say, they kind of ramble on about whatever they're. And the thing is, I usually say, and I'll say, "And who are you looking for?" Well, of course they're not looking for anybody. They're just looking for somebody to pick up the phone. Don't you love it when you answer your phone and it's just some random telemarketer calling your phone? And sometimes too, I mean, it's not being mean. I think it's being funny. Sometimes, when I know it's a telemarketer calling my phone, I'll say, "Joe's Pizza, can I take your order?" I'll do that. And of course, that throws them completely off, because when you say, "Joe's Pizza, can I take your order?" Is that for here to go? And then they kind of sit there and they're dumbfounded, like, "Wait a minute, I'm calling a pizza place?" Of course, food, but I've done that quite a lot. Yeah. Sometimes I'll say, and just, in your head, just take some random name, and it can be a hairdressing place. It can even be a funeral home. You know, you can say, "Patterson Funeral. How can I help?" You're talking a very low tone. So yeah, I know that's mean, but it's funny, because people don't know what to say. They don't know what to say. My brother, by the way, you know what he does when he knows a telemarketer? He sings to them he sings to them. And, sometimes they hang up on him. And I don't know why they do that, but, they do. They hang up on him. Look at that. And I'm still not done with the train. I haven't decided exactly where I want it to go, but I figure, you know, just for the heck of it, if I'm online and instead of sitting in town all the time, I sit here on my train and let the train just take me around the world on my farm, you know. Maybe I'll put a little train area down here, you know, with some squiggly lines and things. But now I'm curious about that hill stuff in the rocks, so I'm gonna have to test it out, and then if I see it working, then I'll show you guys how to do it. Wow, that really glows, doesn't it? I never realized these things glow. This is the mine. Oh. I'm going to give you another tip, too, by the way, in case you didn't get your... let me go to the table first. Let me just show you something. This is my first farm, as you all know. So here's what I'm going to show you. When you first start out, obviously the you will definitely get iron. But now here's what I'm going to show you. Let's say it's copper. Copper, silver, and gold are the 3 new minerals that they added to the game. So here's what I'm going to suggest. In order for you to get the silver next, you got to get copper to level 10, right? So what you do is you hit up on all the tables and make all of these copper. Okay? Just do it. Because it's not going to stop the other minerals from, you know, being there in your mine. It's just going to generate, hopefully, more copper. Because it doesn't mean, oh, gee, if I stand in this room, it's going to fill with copper. It doesn't work that way. It's randomly all throughout the mine. So how I got mine up to level 10, which is what you got to do to get your silver, is I did that. Now, what I've done, I don't know, I can't remember if I did. Okay, let's just say hypothetically you have your copper, it's level 10, you're good to go, right? Okay, so the next one obviously is going to be your silver. And again, here's how it works. Go to your first farm and change all your tables to silver. Don't worry about the copper. Don't worry about the copper because it will still, you know, show up. It'll spawn. So what I did was I did the first farm all silver because you're gonna work on getting the gold next. So when you make your first farm to like silver every single table, then you go to your second farm once you know you have your gold, and then what you do is you go to your second farm in the mine, you make that all gold in the mine. And because let me see, it's probably 3,000. Oh, yep, it is. Because you're gonna need, those, you know, minerals as much as possible throughout. Well, if you're leveling up your shops and things. So that's what I do. I have all my tables on the first farm. I have them all silver. The other one is gold. And hey, if you got a third farm, do it with copper. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You'll still get it whether you put them on all the tables or not. But that's what I've done. I've just put them on all the tables. So that way at least I know I'm getting it. And, you know, there's that. Why does it look so... It looks like... looks kind of smoky in here or something. See, even though when you walk up to it, it's not silver or gold. It is what it is. So when you walk up to it, you know, it's going to be whatever mineral it decides to be. Just to kind of give you a heads up. And you still get all the other minerals as well, so you don't have to worry about it. You know, the only little drawback is, is if it specifically wants a particular mineral. I would say don't change the tables just for that mineral, because it's just it's not gonna be like massively in the place. So I just let it go naturally, because I'm trying to build up my gold. And that's the other thing too on the menu I'll show you. Let me just show you something in my inventory. Okay. On my inventory it says I have 3,279 gold. By the way, gold and silver are one and the same. When I say that, it falls into that category of gold. Okay? Just like when you're doing mushrooms, like the blue ones are going to have 7,000 of those. But then the mushrooms, when you're doing those, no matter if you're doing them with the animals or underground, they will always be there. They'll always be turning into those. And don't get confused like I did. I remember when I was playing this for the in the mine for the first time, and even before that, you know, it would said, "Oh, you need X amount of mushrooms," and I'm like, "Where do you get those from?" Yeah, I found out that you get them from here. So, you know, there's that. And I think it's level 90 that you get your line. I'm not exactly sure. And, you know, that's fine. I can do that. But now that I showed you guys a new thing that's out in the menu, and like I said, some people don't want you to go in there and mine because, you know, like it has happened, but, you know, people will go do 1 or 2 areas and then they leave. You know, I don't know why. I usually just finish it. Doesn't take that long. Takes you 5 minutes. And there's that. You know, there's all of that. I think I do have it set up for silver. Yeah, I think I do. And I will tell you right now, too, you know, if you get your mine open and you have all the areas open, which I know requires a lot of the, well, it does take, I think it's Ribbons that opens it now. It's been so long since I've had mine, had to open one. But you see how I got this set up? I have blue ones down here, and then the white ones are on up there. But this is all empty. Now I gotta definitely put some white mushrooms in there. Because I need about 12,000 mushrooms. If I want to level up my shop. If I don't, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. But I do have to level up some of the shops. And I think the warehouse was asking me for that. So I'm going to put some white mushrooms. And they don't take that long. And the other thing, too, is if you want to use your favor down in your mines, hey, double what you can get. I think the best way to use your favor is actually if you have factories, and, you know, depending on how many, but it doubles everything on your factories, just FYI. Same thing with flowers when you're doing that, especially if you need XP. Flowers are very, very good for XP. If you think you're not really going to get a lot of favor from flowers because they're slower. So that's the difference between the two. There's that. Oh, see, I'm almost done with this. See, now I got copper and it levels up. I'm really surprised how, you know, quickly it levels up. I'm just really surprised. I don't know, maybe because it's a newer mineral. I'm not sure why it's leveling up, but it levels up fairly well. But now, wait a minute. Is copper also... I have to... I think it's just a regular... Okay, yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, copper probably falls on the regular. Oh, so I have the whole place done. Okay, so you see, this is like semi-half with the blue. Please, please, please save your blue mushrooms. And how did I miss that? Oh, man. Save your blue mushrooms through experience. It's going to ask you for the blue ones. So try to, I mean, like, let's say you only have one mine. So you know what you do? You put half. You try to just do half because you get 9 of these. Okay? So just try to do half, you know, for blue, half for white, and then just randomly whatever down here on the bottom. Because it will ask you for that. Just so you all know. Oh, and it's not going to show me, is it? No, probably not. Oh, okay. Now see, this is perfect. It shows me what kind of mushrooms are there. And let's say, for example, they requested, it'll be highlighted. So there's that. And then there's that, which shows you nothing. So, okay, now did I... Okay, nope. How are my teas doing? Okay, the blue's good. That's good. Juice is okay. See, so, I mean, it looks good. You know what I mean? Like, my inventory-wise. Up there on the very, very top, over here on the far top left, these are where my guys are doing 575 each worker. Because that's what it holds. It holds 575. And the only thing they're doing are my 2 spice trees that I had pointed out, which are the best ones to have. And that's all they do all day, is the spice trees. You know? Here's the ones that I told you about that are just, they're just, you know, they're not all seasons, but at least they're doing spice trees. So, if when I sit here after a while, they do, my spice will fill up pretty quick, you know, so there's that. And the fish do the same thing. Right now my inventory is, and I think, yeah, that's, see, look at that. If you look at my inventory, for example, everything is 36,000. Oh, and if there's a little more increase, like where you see the flowers, 37, take a look at your poinsettias, 18,000. Because they figured, you know, like, it's not that they're trying to discourage people from doing poinsettia farms. It's that everybody's been doing them, and that's how that they get the XP and gold. That's another way of earning money. But again, you have to do it with favor. Okay? So there's that. I think, wait a minute, I think it was an animal, or unless I didn't do it. I hope the one I'm trying to figure out is, oh. Let's go up here. What is it? Okay. It's a turkey? Yep. Wild turkeys. And you know, honestly, you can get some pretty decent XP from your animals. I've noticed that, like, and plus, you know, it doubles if you use your favor. You know, and it doesn't mean it's going to be obviously as fast as the crops, but you do get some pretty decent XP from them. Like the flowers you do, but again, it's always going to be slow. It's not going to be fast. Red cabbage. Ooh. I don't think... Well, let's find out. Okay, go to 4, hopefully. I don't... See, and I set this area up here specifically for quest crops only. See that? And that's what I did on my first farm, by the way. So, like, if somebody goes there to just say harvest the lettuce, they can do that. But all the other crop areas, they can't grow any. They can't plant anything. It's been, you know, it saves me a lot of headache. Okay, so why is it? We'll do available. See. Wait a minute. Why? Oh, you know what? I gotta wait now. Go figure. And let me see. So there's that. And it's just okay. Oh, I might be able to do that. That's the Gothic pack. Let me try. I mean, yeah, I don't always do I don't do all my flowers on a daily basis. I probably know I should. You know, oh, yeah, I think I better do some of my flowers, right, guys? Yeah. Oh, I passed it. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to town. And I'm going to show you... I probably should go up and then down. See, I haven't set the top side of my flowers yet. As far as, you know, travel points. I haven't done that. Nope, they're not watered yet. I'll get to it when I can. You know, I should do the topside ones first. Yep. I'll do these first. And eventually you'll notice that some of your flowers, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of flowers. I did it once. I think the most I ever had on one of my farms was like 300. But I don't know. I don't feel the need to put that many up. I don't. I love these flowers. I wish they'd be moving around Halloween. Fly traps, I think those are cool. French bean, 200. Woo woo. That's a garlicky thing, which, by the way, see what I'm saying? I have 23,000, so it's not full. But if you go to somebody else's farm and notice, like, oh, gee, they could probably use some, you know, if you have the option and you can plant the garlic or whatever it needs to get planted because that's what they need, then that's what you should think about. Also, planting tomatoes helps too, because especially if they have a lot of canneries. There's that. Farm 2. You know, I think that I have those planted. Let me see. Yep, I do. And when is... Okay, fall. See? And these ones are done. And the only reason why these are done is because... you know, see, because I have one area where it's just all garlic stuff. So it's good. It's good like that. Yeah. But I enjoy that. I found another cute little game, guys, that I play. If you like doing puzzles, let me tell you something. This game will drive you bonkers. But I love doing puzzles. I don't know if you... maybe I'll show it to you tomorrow. And it's free, by the way. If you go to Plarium, Plarium Games, there is a game called... I can probably look at it on my screen. Give me just a moment. Oh, I think I can plant those cabbage. Wow. And by the way, there's only one worker here on that little row of fish. And I used the same amount, 130 of each fish. And there's only one worker there. So, if you do it by the twos, then it's fine that way. And honestly, I know that you might have read somewhere that, well, there's a penalty if you have more than 36 fish, for example. I want to tell you this little something. Don't worry about it. Because I don't. And the reason being is because I'm only there to get fish for the canneries. I don't use it for XP. But what I will tell you is that there is somebody, I should probably find their farm. They have their fish set up that they can get a really good XP. I think what it is they have 36, rows of 36. But it's in how they got it set up. It's set up pretty good. So there's that. And they get good XP. They get a good turnaround on that. So... okay, so there. Come on. Wow. Oh, okay. Now see, but that's what I generally do is I keep it, and I should do the pigs again. Anyway. Are they end of it? Yeah, they are. I hope. I probably should use favor because I really need the, I really do need the mushrooms. I used to have the mushrooms, I mean, not, yeah, I used to have them pretty full. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, if I went to use favor right now, I would probably get, like 2 mushrooms and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna waste my favor on that. There I go. Gosh, I've never seen my flower cherry tree leveling up so much as it is now. Speaking of which, when you first get your flowering cherry tree, that has a lot to do with opening up some of your berry trees. So try to keep that in mind. And, maybe put up maybe 200. And the reason being is because you're going to need to get those trees. And it's one season only. You're going to need to get those berry trees up to level 80, I think it is. So just to kind of give you a heads up on that. Yep. And the last of my pigs. Eventually I'm going to be coming back and it's going to want me to do something I already harvested. So no fail for me. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to end this because I have a couple of things I need to do before it gets too late in the day. I want to say thank you and God bless you all for being here, especially my lurkers. I love you guys to death. You know that. I hope you know that. I mean, what am I going to do without my lurkers? Goodness gracious. But, I'm going to keep you all up to speed. Check out the new things I showed you today. And make you just, make a decision whether you want people to, let's say, I will check into that question. Because I'm kind of curious about that myself. Does that mean that they can go into town and pay the workers, or can they pay the workers individually? I need to know that because, I don't want to say one thing and then we find out later on that it's something else totally different. But the new thing though is that those new things I showed you, and I'll recap it. Farm settings. See, you could be in your game and it's under farm settings. I'll show you. Hey, you too, Maya. See, I'll just show you. If you go to users permissions, just kind of, oops, not them, custom permissions. If you go there, okay, scroll down, and you might see something that says no, in particular harvest herbs. Because if someone goes to your farm and they try to harvest the herbs or the tea or whatever, and if they say to you, hey, I can't harvest this, well, this is the reason why. You either want them to do it or not. It's totally up to you. But there's that. Pay farm hands. That's the one I want to... Actually, I want to take a screenshot of that. Hold on a minute. I want to take a screenshot of that, which is right here. Pay farm hands. Select area. See, I'm gonna make a screenshot of this because I want to ask what of course I want to have make sure is to say I took a screenshot. Okay, so there's that. Now we got that out of the way. Alright, so now I'm gonna go moving down. Resupply, use shards, pay, start jobs, continue, finish. Now here's the other one. I've never noticed to harvest mushrooms, so I think that's kind of a new thing too. But just go over your custom permissions, and see what's going on with that. Okay, just to kind of give you a heads up. So there's that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate you all being here for sure. I have a free day tomorrow, so I'll be on tomorrow. I'm just gonna be, waiting for the event to start. And I will tell you right now, when the event starts, obviously I'm gonna be on that one farm, sitting there. But now that I know with the corn and stuff, I'm just gonna set it up with the lettuce having being the corn, and I'll just harvest it. I don't really care. Because it's there for the event, it's there for the people, and they deserve that. So, you all take care, and I hope you have a wonderful day today and tomorrow. And I hope you also have a blessed day. Oh, the name of the game, not to change the subject, it's called Merge Gardens. It's really a nice little game. But aside from that, again, thank you for being here, and you all have a wonderful day, and you have a wonderful lurk. I love you guys. You take care, and have a blessed day. Thanks so very, very much for being here. Appreciate it.